for my module 7.5, It's Complicated Final Project. And this is my final project, and we will go over here in a second. It is a comic strip, and it is about this book here by Dana Boyd. Okay, so let's begin by looking at this comic strip. Alright, so you see it's a student here, and this is at a day at school, and it's kind of hard to read, but someone asks and makes fun of him, mop head, 4 eyes, can your clothes get any uglier? So basically this kid is being bullied. Okay, now typically bullying out of the book is what we have learned is not just only in person, but it can also be cyberbullying. However, parents tend to overextend their idea of what bullying is sometimes. But always make sure you know the signs as well for students like this. Next, we are going to move on to him moving from school, and he's at home now. So he is in the comfort of his own bedroom. His door is shut, presumably, and he is on Facebook, and he finally says, "Oh, finally, some quiet." So this student goes from being bullied all day long at school and finally gets to go home and have a break. Now here is his Facebook profile, and it says he has friends of 861. And this picture is supposed to represent a stronger, different person. So he pulled the picture off of the internet to make sure that he has the friends on Facebook. So to Facebook, he is a totally different person. This is meant for the identity. Kids can get on Facebook or any other social media site and be a different person besides who they want to be. So that in this case, this happens a lot for kids who are being bullied. All right, so next we're going to move on to the parental idea of it. So the student is here. He goes from school to home to be alone in his room to saying, "Finally, some quiet until mom checks on me." So this typically, it means that parents are watching over whatever the students are doing on their computer. Typically, parents think that they have to be watching. Some parents don't watch at all, but it's important for parents to also watch because there could be dangers. There could be a lot going on the internet that the kids don't need to be looking at. But it also gives children a chance to kind of escape and actually mingle with friends through social media. And in this situation, the mom is looking in on what he is doing all the time. So the poor kid never has a chance to be alone and try to find who he actually is. All right, so after the parent goes away, so now he says, "Finally some quiet until mom checks on me or I see this on my Facebook." So the mom has gone out of the picture, and this is the heading for the article that he found on his internet website here. Black teen beaten by 2 white teens near home. So this would deal with race. A lot of times there's a lot of race issues on social media and things, but it also depends on how kids were raised and what kind of environment they were also raised in. This book really explains that the computer doesn't necessarily cause more racial issues. It just simply expands the idea because of the way that the internet can expand throughout the whole world, and students are able to look up this stuff very easily. Next, after this, we're going to go to where it says, "Okay, finally some quiet until mom checks on me, or I see this on Facebook, or why can't people leave others alone?" This instance, there is an 8-year-old missing. Parents are blaming technology. Too often, parents think that there are predators online who are much older than their kids, waiting to stalk them or try to have the students or children meet them at remote locations. In this case, this child was abducted. And so this is very clearly seen on the internet, and a lot of parents are concerned about it. However, most of the time, abductions happen by strangers and not by people on the internet. More than likely, it happens in person than anything else. So this last one here, we're going to talk about. Excuse me. So he is fed up. He has dealt with bullying, an identity crisis, parents who are constantly watching over him, and they are also dealing with race and danger. Now, these are a couple different points that are picked out in the book. I covered multiple different chapters because I felt like they all intertwine in some way. They all revolve around your identity, how a student feels towards another racial area or subject, how they handle bullying, and how they handle their own danger in their own life. It also involves parent connections, and it involves their own connections within their internal self-being. So if students are being bullied at school, don't really have much time to self-reflect, they feel like their parents are always on them and they don't have much of a parental-child relationship. If they are dealing with race in some sort, or if they felt that other kids are in danger, if they have some sense of danger, how can they be expected to be themselves? Obviously, technology needs to be monitored, but there are some things that are just taken too far with technology. Students need to be aware of their surroundings and how things are handled as well. So overall, this is what the book really entails, and I really learned quite a bit from this book, and the idea is that it changed a lot of my views, such as how much technology influences things. In fact, it is actually just an object. So it's really us coming through onto our computers and projecting what we think into a much larger audience. So simply just don't blame technology, look into your facts, and figure out where you want things to be. Well, I hope you enjoyed this, and this is for my final project, and thank you again.